back to you from my channel, A Black Fairy Tale. So just checking in and giving you guys a update on the first trimester of my pregnancy, of my second pregnancy. My daughter is around in this video, so if you hear baby noises, 1-year-old noises, that is her. She'll probably make an appearance soon. So I have my handy dandy notebook here and my notes about the first trimester. So really just getting into it, letting people get to know me a little bit more. Like I said, I do have a 1-year-old, and just giving you a little bit more insight on what this channel is going to be about. It's based on mommyhood videos, motherhood videos, whatever you want to call it, based on couple vlogs, a little bit of fitness. Since I am pregnant right now, fitness is kind of taking a back seat. Just making sure I'm healthy, and the gyms are closed right now with COVID going on and everything. And then like I said, mommyhood videos with my 1-year-old and pregnancy updates. So make sure you hit that subscribe button right now and get ready for the journey. All right, so going into my first trimester. First, just to start off, I know all pregnancies are so different, and this one is pretty similar to my daughter. We did find out the gender at 10 weeks. So just to let everyone know right now, I'm a little behind on recording these videos. So I am 17 weeks today. Let me actually, not as of today, I think I'm 17 weeks and like a few days today. Oh, I'm almost 18 weeks. So I am 17 weeks, and you probably can't see because of the glare, but yes, I'm 17 weeks and 5 days. So I am 2 days away from being 18 weeks, which is crazy because I feel like I just found out I was pregnant. But I'm going to take you guys back to the first trimester. So like I was saying, just going over a lot of my symptoms, my cravings, a lot of my weak points and morning sickness, which was the main thing that I honestly feel that I just got over. And like I said, I'm 17 weeks and 5 days today. So going back through week 1 through basically week 6, we'll say, we found out at I believe it was week 4 when I missed my cycle, and that was, you know, pretty basic. I know my body, I know my cycle, so I knew that I missed it, or I was missing it the day that it was supposed to come, because it's pretty regular. So I knew I was moody, I was super tired, and I basically just was feeling like all the symptoms that I felt that my cycle was going to come, that's what I felt. And even my husband said, you know, I can tell like your cycle is about to come, which we thought it was. So it didn't come that next day. So that's when we decided to just go get a Clear Blue pregnancy test. Best pregnancy test ever, by the way. Never led me wrong. And yeah, so took that. It said pregnant. So we were very shocked, but you know, blessings come in many different disguises. So we just automatically started planning. So made my doctor's appointment. Didn't have my first doctor's appointment until week 8, which they gave me an ultrasound, showed me that it was a little healthy baby peanut in there. Didn't know what it was yet, and he did tell me that we were going to be able to find out the gender if we would like at 10 weeks. Normally you don't find out until week 20, and that is when I found out with my daughter that she was a girl. So when 10 weeks came, which I will get to that, we did find out the gender, which I will reveal in a second. But yes, going on the symptoms, I would say, like I mentioned, the symptoms were mainly moody, tired, being fatigued, and the implantation bleeding. I did have a little implantation bleeding, but it wasn't enough to like scare me. A lot of people go through that, and they're always like, oh my god, like I don't know why I'm bleeding. But I did bleed very lightly with my daughter. So, and it was literally like a few days after I found out I was pregnant. I tried to log as much of this during the process until I started feeling sick, and then that was where the morning sickness kicked in. But yes, implantation bleeding was a big one. I only bled for about 2 days, which it was very, very light. So it really wasn't anything alarming to me, just because I did do the same exact thing with my daughter. That was pretty much week 4. Week 5, the morning sickness started. So I find that it's really, really weird that the morning sickness started so early with this pregnancy, because with my daughter, it didn't start until about week 9, and it lasted until like week 13. This morning sickness, just to give you a heads up, it went from week 5 all the way until week like 15 to 16. Like, I'm just now starting. At the beginning of this week, which was week 17, I began to start feeling my energy coming back. It still has its moments. I don't know why that is. I don't know, maybe it's because, you know, during COVID, we've all been a little bit less active with being on quarantine and just being in the house more. So I think that does have a lot to do with it. I am used to being super active and, you know, outside, running, jogging, doing something during my pregnancy. With my daughter, I literally worked out probably up until around like 15 weeks, and then that's kind of when I stopped. So it definitely plays a big difference. Let's see, I did at the very beginning, a big symptom for me was pelvic pain. So the pelvic pain for me was literally right here. So I'm gonna stand so you guys can see. If anybody else is going through this, don't trip yourself out. Just talk to your doctor about it, because I almost tripped myself out and was really trying to figure out what was going on. So it kind of felt like right in your groin area and your pelvic area that I had pain on the left side and the right side. I called my doctor and they said it might just be because you have been pregnant before. You know, your body goes through things a little bit quicker, and you can feel things a little sooner, like stretching and pulling and things like that. So I did feel that, and it was really alarming to me. Not really, but it was. I didn't feel that before with Riley. So it ended up being fine. It was good. I don't know really what to classify it as, but it felt very achy. So that's all I can really classify it as. It would kind of radiate between my hips almost. So now that I'm saying it's between my hips, that definitely kind of explains like why it was feeling like that, because it is a lot of stretching going on at that time. So I don't really find that too, you know, different with pregnancy. Like I said, each pregnancy is different. So that was around like week 5, week 6. The pelvic pain started around week 6. My cravings during that time, they were kind of irrelevant. Like I wasn't really craving. With my daughter, I was craving like from day 1. With this pregnancy and this baby, the cravings did start later, but they were just not there at that point. So going into like week 7 through 10, which starting off at week 7, the baby was the size of a blueberry. So that small, I guess. So super, super small. The morning the morning sickness was in full speed at this point. And when I say full speed, I mean it was horrible. With my daughter, it felt similar, and honestly, I just don't think I can remember what morning sickness feels like after that long, because you're so happy to get over it. When you're done, you just want to get back to everything else that you are used to doing. So, you know, that was a big one for me. But yes, the morning sickness, what it feels like to me, I wasn't throwing up. I hadn't thrown up at all. And it feels like you're car sick. It's queasiness for me. So it feels like somebody is jerking you around in a car, and honestly, you can't eat. You don't. The only thing you can do is really sleep it off, I guess. And with the toddler being pregnant, I mean, I'll pause. Like that's it right there. Like, how do you rest with the toddler who's on her schedule and be morning sick? It was horrible. And FYI, morning sickness is not just in the morning. It is all day long. It does ease up when I would eat, like something that actually, yes, something that actually would like fill my stomach, I would say, okay, I feel decent for about an hour or hour and a half. After that, I would get hungry again, and then I can tell that's when it really kicked full speed. Another big thing for me in like the week 7 through 9, 7 through 10. Do you want to say hi? Look. Okay. This is Riley. Say hi to the camera. Look. Say hi. She's watching Coco Melon on my phone, so if you hear that, that's what that is. Okay, finish watching that. Crazy dreams I was having, right? So, I mean, it would include people I used to know, people like animals, I mean, random things, and they were so vivid, and I don't do that a lot. Like, I really rarely dream, so I know this was due to pregnancy because I had the same exact with Riley. It was a little later with her, but my dreams actually are still like that now. Going next, I would say my boobs did start to hurt, which is crazy for me because during my cycle, never hurts. Never. Like, I could hit myself. I always wonder, like, I wonder what that feels like because I never have that symptom when I'm like PMSing. Like, I just don't get it, which I'm thankful for too. But yes, the crazy dreams, the sore boobs, the morning sickness was in full effect, and also a bland taste was in my mouth. So the bland taste that I had, it just really went away when the morning sickness went away as well. It was so bland, I just don't know how to describe it, but I kept telling everybody, like, it's the worst taste in my mouth, I just can't get it out. And that was all it was. Like, it wasn't really super dry, it just tasted like you feel sick. The morning sickness then kind of turned into, like, I felt sick at the pit of my stomach, like, all day. Car sick, queasy, don't want to get overheated, because if you get overheated, that's when you really start to feel super sick. So I made sure the air was on a lot, and being in the summertime, we're in like August, right? August, end of August right now. So this had been happening like at the beginning, like of that July, June. Also, another symptom I would say was saliva. The saliva definitely for me was one of the first symptoms with my daughter. But that was immediately, like, I think that was how I thought that was going to be how I classified any future pregnancies, because I would have so much saliva built up in my mouth, I would have to keep a spit cup, and I would just spit. This pregnancy, it did start around like week 10, week 9, week 10, and it just, like, I would have to go to the bathroom and just spit in the sink, spit in the sink, spit in the sink. It wasn't to the point where I had to keep a cup this time, but it was the same exact feeling, like when you're about to throw up and you get that like saliva feeling in your throat. That's what it felt like. Yes. So my favorite thing to drink is vitamin water still to now, because the bland taste in my mouth that was there, it would made it so hard to drink warm water, room temperature water, cold water. Cold water was better, but it made it like just taste disgusting. I actually don't mind drinking water if it has like lemon in it. I'm not the best water drinker. I will say that's something I could do a lot better at, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it. But vitamin water, I don't know if that's the best thing to be drinking with the sugar, but it gets me some fluid in, and I'm doing the best that I can, and then I incorporate the water with it as well. So these are kind of where my notes stop, but I only have 2 more weeks to really go over while talking about the first trimester. Those notes stopped because I felt so sick. The only symptoms that I was really feeling was morning sickness from week 10 to 12. And I was really putting up with it because I thought it would end around like week 13, you know, give or take, like my daughter it did. And it did, like I said, I'm 17, almost 18 weeks, and it didn't feel better until basically now. So that was a bummer, but I'm so thankful that I'm over that now. But yeah, so the morning sickness, like I said, it just felt really queasy feeling. It did start to gravitate more towards the nighttime, and it would make me feel really, really sick at night to the point where I really have trouble sleeping. But other than that, those are pretty much my symptoms. First trimester is definitely one for the books of all pregnancies, I feel, for all women. So I feel you, if you're in that first trimester, you got this, girl. Just keep pushing through, because I barely wanted to do anything. I didn't leave the house, barely wanted to go anywhere. Only thing I really could think about was food when I wanted to eat. The good thing was I'm not throwing up, so that is what I'm super thankful for. Other than that, yes, I will go over, I'm going to give you guys a bump update, but this bump update is 17 and a half weeks. It's, well, I don't want to say and a half, 17 and 5 days pregnant. So I'm just going to show you guys where I'm at now. And then my bump has been pretty similar to this. It has, I feel like in the last week, it got like larger. So just to show you guys that for some fun. But yes, the apps that I'm using right now are Flow, which is a really good app. I used it with my daughter's pregnancy as well. And then I use What to Expect when expecting app, and it kind of tells you the size of the baby during the week you are, some tips, and what's actually happening with the baby, you know, each week. So if you guys can see those, this is Flow. And this app right here, Pregnancy Plus, I think I did have to pay for it, but it actually is really cool. I'll open it up for you guys. And it shows you what it sounds like in there. And you can kind of turn the baby around. And this is pretty much what the baby is like growing. There's no hair, the skin is growing, the eyelids are still closed. Like, it'll just show you a lot about it, and you can kind of tap it. You can tap the baby, I think. I thought you could. Yeah, you can tap it. I don't like tapping it too much because it's supposed to move, but it just did when I turned it away. But yes, it'll show you how many inches the baby is and things like that. So it's kind of fun to look at. I did post a video last week about how to find your fetal Doppler heart rate of about how to find your baby's heart rate with a fetal Doppler at home. I did find that at around 15 weeks. So it was pretty simple for me to find, because during my first pregnancy I did use that a lot. I don't use it a lot just because if you ever don't find the heartbeat, you know, it's something you don't want to get yourself discouraged about, but it is really tough to find the heart rate on a regular basis if you don't know. So that was me giving you guys as much update as I could about my first trimester, even though now I'm in my second trimester. My baby bump is looking a little bigger today. Give you a little from the front angle and the side angle. And oh, it is, like I said, we did find out the gender at 10 weeks with a panoramic blood test. It does, sometimes you do have to pay extra for it, but my insurance did cover it, so that was a blessing. We did find out that it was another baby girl. We're excited. I think we're both girl parents as of right now, just because girls, I mean, they're so fun. They're not as wild, I don't think, as the boys yet. So I think this was a blessing in disguise. And they'll only be about 1.5 years, 2 years apart. So more like 1.5 years. So that was pretty much my updates for first trimester pregnancy with my second child. So make sure you guys subscribe and like and comment. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I will definitely get back to you guys. And make sure you guys follow up on the videos that I'll be posting coming shortly. I probably will be making a video that's not a full second trimester, but a like week 13 through week 15 type video, and then I'll keep kind of going from there. So if you guys are interested in some of those, all my pregnant mommies, make sure you follow. All of my people who just want to follow in general, make sure you subscribe and keep updated on my videos. Talk to you later. Bye guys.